Hello everyone, welcome back to Cryptogains for another video. In this video, we are going to be taking a look at the Bitcoin and crypto market space as a whole. Work out where this top is, find out what's going on right now with the current price of Bitcoin, because when Bitcoin falls, the rest of the market falls, and when Bitcoin rises, the market goes and rises with it. If this sounds interesting to you, please drop that like. Give me a subscribe if you're watching, and I will dive into this. But before I do so, I need to let you know I'm not a financial advisor. These are just my own personal opinions on the market. So please always do your own research before investing any money. That being said, if you've been watching my channel, you have been seeing this chart over the last sort of few weeks. Every other week I bring it to you, or every week I bring it to you, just to refresh your mind on what's going on with the entire market. Because, for me, when I look at Bitcoin and I look at this chart, it tells me when the end of the bull cycle is coming. And that is something that we all need to know, because you don't want to be in that situation where it gets to the top, you end up spending loads of money, and then it falls down on your face, and then you face this disgusting bear market, which someday it will come. So let's take a look, because I've been basically, showing you these indicators, the most important one being the pi cycle, because when the pi cycle had a cross in the past many a times, meaning the orange crossing over the red line, we always saw a bull cycle top, and you can see it here. Now, I did this in my live stream, but for those who may have missed the live stream, I'm refreshing you again, got constantly keep refreshing your mind and stuff, and you can see it here and you can see it here. This is on the daily time frame, so if you want to grab this up yourself, you can go on tradingview.com, make sure you click it on 1D, you can see here, and then you can grab the indicator here, just click on the indicators and type in pi cycle, because I think that you guys should really keep on top of this and have this up and running so you can see yourself. But yeah, let's take a look at what happened, because like I said, every time sorry, bit of frog action, I ain't cutting it. Every time we've seen the orange line cross with the red line, it's been called to be the top of the cycle, and then it prints this purple line, which you can see here, straight down the middle. It has a nice little faint one here, straight down the middle, that confirms the top. Now, we had a double top in 2013. This is right back in 2013, you can see here and here. And when we go forward to 2017, we had it right here. And then where are we currently today? Well, it's called it here, but I think that this was a fake out. You can check the live stream, but I'm going to break it down with you again and help you understand why I think it was, because I have to take other indicators into consideration. So we've got the Bitcoin investor tool. Now, whenever Bitcoin has broke above this thick red line on the Bitcoin investor tool, that for me is when we've truly seen the top of the bull cycle. And as you can see here, let me zoom in, this was back in 2017 when it broke the red line here. It shot up really high. Super cycle is what we call it. It goes really fast, really high, really quick, and then we saw the top of the bull market. And then when it broke back into this red line and straight back down, then we saw a bear market. The green line represents usually a perfect time to be buying crypto. So through all this period here, I probably wouldn't have touched Bitcoin for that long period of time. And it's hard, because when you're in crypto, you just want to buy and buy and buy. If you're swing trading it, fine, because you can catch the swing trades, and obviously it's good for you there. But if you're like an investor, anything below this green line, always been a perfect time to buy. And then when you add the heat map, the 200-week heat map with this, you can see clearly that it's a perfect time to buy because of the colors. So the dark blue represents a perfect time to buy, and then obviously the red, the heat tells you when to sell. And as you can see, dead on in the middle of the red, we've got the sell signal telling us to sell. Now, I've been waiting for this today, as it stands today, and all I'm seeing right now is a bit of yellowy green. I haven't seen no full-on red yet, which makes me believe that we still have some more room for this market cycle to go. And as you can see here, it hasn't broke the pi cycle, it hasn't broke the top red line, so that's what I'm waiting for as well. I need to see Bitcoin come up, break past this red line, and then see some higher highs really fast, really quick, and that for me will confirm that we are in this bull market cycle top. And then of course we'll see some red on the heat map. But let's just take a look at a few other things, because there's a lot I want to show you with relation to this crypto space. Let's take a look at the Fear and Greed Index, because I showed you this a few times as well. We were green for the longest time over the last month or two because people were constantly buying And as you can see here, last month it was at 75. Now it started to swing over to the left. People are getting fearful because they're seeing prices fall and they're panicking. They're thinking this is the end and that's it. Now, what have I always said? You know, when it's over here on the left-hand side, perfect time to buy, because you should be greedy when not investment advice. I would be greedy when others are fearful, because that's the saying: when others are fearful, be greedy, and when people are greedy, you best be fearful. All right, so you know, round about this price, if it goes lower, I mean, I'm expecting under 20, maybe 18. I don't know. Time will tell. And if it doesn't, even now, still a good time to be buying crypto in my eyes, personally. But that just purely off of that. There's a few more things I want to show you with Bitcoin. Let's take a look at this chart here, because I think it's an important chart that you need to see. This was the 21-day moving, the 21 weekly moving average, because you can change it. You can have it on the daily, the hourly. This is on the weekly. And as you can see here, Bitcoin has came down and held perfect support on the 21-week moving average. And for those that are new watching, again, I'm not the best at technical analysis, but I know enough to know what I need to know. Every time that you've seen Bitcoin above the 21 daily or weekly, it's held significant support. You can see it's bounced off it, If it's ever come below it, you know, you've probably seen a bit of resistance, but if it ever breaks above it again, you know, you can see here it had a bit of resistance and support here, but once it broke above it, you know, it held significant supports. And you've got to remember, every single candlestick that you see here is a week. 1 week's worth of you're probably looking about a year's worth, because look at this, you're talking April the 20th, 2020. You see, 2020 right up until now, you're talking like a year's worth of candlesticks that you're looking at, and it held significant support for an entire year. Now, when it shot up back in October of 2020, I didn't see these candles hit the yellow line once. If anything, it floated above it for the longest time and it didn't hit it once. This is the first time I've seen it actually come down and touch the yellow 21-week moving average. Now, you know, I always think that when it comes down to these prices, it could be a perfect buying opportunity. It hasn't broke it yet. I mean, it could break it. It could form a little wick and then come back above. The wicks are like what you see here, these little faint red lines. But, you know, I always think that this could be a perfect time to buy when you see it around the 21 weekly moving average, purely for the fact that we see it bounce off before, and look what happened here as it bounced off. You know, we can come back in the past and we can see it in the last bull cycle. Look at how many times it hit the 21 week moving average, the yellow line. So from when it broke, it came above, it touched it, and then it came above, bounced off of it, look, kept bouncing all the way up to the top, bounced off of it, all the way up to the top. And then obviously once it broke it, it took a deep dive right below the 50, which is the purple one, the 50-day moving average. And then that was sort of like the signal as to when it was coming into its bear market. So I expect that this may, you know, bounce off of it and come back up. Another thing to look at as well is the stochastic RSI, this thing down here, because it tells you when, you know, when prices are overbought and when prices are oversold. And right now you can see that people have been selling off on Bitcoin. It's come out of this sort of like bluey purpley color bar here, and it's below it. So that means it's oversold, which means technically people may have started to buy up, and it might come back into this and then start coming up again. And every time you've seen these, you know, really strong moves down and up, you can see prices selling and stuff. So like for example here, you can see the switch over, so the red crosses the blue and it comes straight down, and then you see the sell, and then obviously once it crosses again, you see a straight price rise back up. And this has been significant every single time you see a red candle. Look, so this candle here, look, it crosses, comes down, crosses, comes back up, and that's what we've been seeing. There was one over here, this red candlestick area here, so from here to here, this cross down to here, this whole little red area, I mean, it looks really tiny. When you look at it like that, it looks really tiny. Let me just show you what kind of price drops we saw from there to there. I'm going to stretch it out so we can see. So we're talking from here to here. It looks tiny, but you know, you're talking Bitcoin went from 48,000, no, that's the price it is now, $41,000 to $29,000 just in that space there to there. So you know, that was a heavy drop. So yeah, that's what I'm keeping my eye on. I want to open your eyes to what would happen if Bitcoin was to go lower, because it's something that we have to keep on our minds. I showed you guys, if you're watching my channel a couple of months ago, I showed you guys this chart here. I showed you the NVT, which is the top one, and the HV. Now, I've been paying attention to this. It's on the weekly, because every time I've seen, right, and just putting it out there, we have to keep our eye on this, right, because right now we are seeing some red. Every time we've seen red turn to white, and then the white falls down on the NVT, and then we see the HV, which is the blue line rise up. We've seen prices fall down, and they haven't been nice little falls. They've been really harsh falls, and you can see it from here to here. You know, you saw like a 45% drop there. And, you know, if we go back from here to here, you can see you got the blue line going up, the red line coming down. Let's just take a look at how harsh this drop was from the top to where was the bottom, roughly about, I'm trying to catch the end of this wick, roughly about down here. You're looking at a 69% drop. That was in the last bull cycle. Now, when you look at it like this, it doesn't look big. But let's be real. What would happen if Bitcoin was to do a 69% drop today? What prices would you see? Because I need to really make you realize the significance of this drop and this NVT turning white going down and the blue going up. Because I'm paying attention, because if over here, if the red turns to white and it comes down and this blue shoots up high, we could see a sell-off. Now, I just want to open your mind to it, because what's a 69% sell-off from what we see today? I'm going to show you. You know, we're talking right down here. It's crazy, absolutely crazy to think that Bitcoin could come down to 14,000. I'm just keeping it on your radar. That is what a 69% drop looks like. Because, you know, when I show you here, it doesn't seem so harsh. But when you see it like this, from 47,000 to 14,000, I'm not saying this is going to happen. Because, you know, I'm just putting it on your radar just to keep you, you know, you have to, when it comes to cryptocurrency and you're investing, you have to accept the good as much as you accept the bad, or the other way around. And I accept both. This is why I try to make good money, because I accept that this is going to happen and I prepare myself for it. And you know what? If you're a Patreon, you knew about this because I show you things. You're actually seeing this video first before everybody else. So I'm preparing you guys first before everybody else. Okay? And if you guys are watching this now and you don't want to miss out, you're welcome to become a Patreon. I have 7 tiers. Take your pick. You can tell I just woken up and my voice is all like husky and all sorts. But yeah, I just want to make sure you keep your eye on this one, because it is important that because this tells the market, right? And if we was to see something like that, maybe we could go into a small mini bear market. I don't know how long for, but I don't think this is going to happen right now. I'm just putting it on your radar. Don't think it's going to happen right now, because we're seeing some kind of support held here on the 21 weekly moving average. And I'm betting on this average here, hoping that, you know, the stochastic RSI shoots back up like what we saw before, like in the past. And then we see higher highs. That's what I'm hoping for. And then, of course, on the where is it on this chart here, I'm hoping that it comes right above the pi cycle again and comes up above the red line, breaks the red line. Then we see some, you know, yellow to red action on the heat map. And yeah, things just play out the way I'm hoping to see it. But yeah, I'm going to leave this here, I think. Let me just check to make sure I've gone through everything with you. Oh, actually, one last thing before I go, I can see it up here, is this. The Bitcoin logarithmic curves. I showed you this before, the growth curves. I'm going to show you again, because if you look, there's been 3 significant lines: a top line, top yellow line, a middle yellow line, and a bottom yellow line. This has been a good way to look at the market overall and see where the highs have been and how significant it's been at the top. So, sorry, some burp action. In the past, when it hit the top, and it called the top, that was at the yellow line here. Same with the next all-time high, it hit the yellow line here, and same with this last recent one, which was 2017, hit the yellow line here. As you can see, we've still got some room to hit the yellow line. I'm going to zoom in on this section here so you can actually have a good look. So this is where we are today. We may hold support around this yellow line here. If we do go down to this yellow line and hold support, we could be looking at roughly a 43,000 price for Bitcoin. I'm just putting it on your radar, and then it may bounce off and start to come back up. And you know, if we see highs, you know, this is pushing it further into June now. You can see 29th of June. we could see highs of $116,000 or $117,000 if it was to rise back up. I think this is possible. I'm keeping my eye on this as well because it helps us look at the price overall. If you want to grab this up, again, Bitcoin logarithmic growth curves, you can find it on lookinintobitcoin.com. I usually just Google it and it comes up. But yeah, these are the things that you want to keep your eye on. The fear and greed. Now, it could be a good time to buy. When people are fearful, be greedy. Eat that food. Because I'll be at the front of the line waiting to eat them pieces of chicken. But yeah, I'm going to leave it here. If this was helpful to you, please drop that like. I did no mummy jokes. I did no African jokes. Yeah, mummy. Okay, I'm not even going to try to keep it real, you know, especially when you talk about prices and stuff. Yeah, drop that like, give me a subscribe. Thank you for watching. Where is my phone? I can't find my phone because I woke up early in the morning. I do apologize. I have new subscribers though, and I want to subscribers, patrons, shout out to my new patrons. I see you. Do apologize. Gonna keep on top of it. Actually, I'm gonna go up and get my phone because I'm gonna be doing another video after, and then I can do some shout outs and stuff. But yeah, thank you all so much. Again, if you want to come a Patreon, you can come through on platform 9 3/4. Just come on that Cryptogains Express. I'll be standing there on the other end like Hagrid with my lantern, waving it side to side, welcoming you in. 7 tiers, take your pick. Whichever tier you want. I recommend going for my buy, sell, stake alerts. You get to see everything. I can see lots of notifications going on, lots of messages. I'm going to answer them all today for you. And yeah, thank you for watching. And I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Cheers!